Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to discuss trappers, but this is not specifically a review. As you can see, I got plenty on the board, and we're not going to go through each and every one of them, but I just kind of wanted to uh, go to the defense of the trapper pattern. It seems that I've seen in a lot of comments about trappers and stuff that a lot of people are kind of getting down on them, and this is really such a great pattern, and I really hope that you guys would give it a try. There's something about a trapper when I'm gonna put it in my pocket and carry it for the day that it just, I don't know, it just brings out a kind of a feeling in me, an emotion or something. I really like them. And so I kind of want to talk about some of the stuff that goes on with trappers, some of the stuff that people say that they don't like, some of the things that they do say they like, uh, but then also maybe some things that maybe you hadn't thought of. Like, first off, that there's all kinds of different sizes of trappers. And so we have our standard size trappers here. This old timer is a jumbo trapper, but it's not really that much bigger than a regular size trapper. Your regular size trapper is about 4 1/8 inches closed. And then you have your smaller trappers here where most of them are about 3 1/2 inches closed. And that makes it for a great pocket carry. Even these old timers that they're just a little bit bigger, I think they're like 3.6 inches. It's really very minimal, but they make great knives to carry in the pocket. And then there's different blades that can have on them too. Because a lot of people get down on the Speyblade, but we'll go over that in a little bit too. But the modern trapper, such as this one here from Rough Rider, these started to appear sometime around the 1920s. They evolved from the older jackknife patterns because you have both blades open up on the same side of the blade, or of the knife rather, and you usually have a two full-size blades that go inside your frame here. The blades are typically a clip and a spay, but you can find some that have spear or Warncliffe blades, and some of them have tools. If you really don't like having a large trapper, you can have this little baby Boker. This would be a mini trapper size, and not only does it have a razor for your main blade, but then it has this little cap lifter for the tool, and maybe a screwdriver blade there. So it's something that definitely can be used or useful. If that's too little for you, you get one of these tailgate trappers like Rough Rider makes, and you not only get a really nice clip blade, but then on the other side, again, you're going to get a screwdriver and a cap lifter. So whether you like to go big or small, you don't have to be stuck with just a Speyblade. Not to mention our good old buzzsaw trapper, which gives us a fantastic clip blade, but then also a really nice saw blade. And it's also a liner lock on your saw blade. So there's all kinds of variations, and that's one of the things that is interesting to me as a pattern, is that the trappers are very versatile. You can find ones with tools, you can find ones that are standard, you can find some like this slimline trapper that it just has just the clip blade, and that's it. So if you say you don't like to have a spay blade on a knife, here's against a standard trapper, you can have the slimline trapper, and it works just fine. Spay blades, a lot of people don't like them. They're actually a very handy blade. They're got some nice belly at the end. They're not sharpened up here. There's a little baby bit of a point that's there, but then you have all this nice length here on your blade. Uh, you know, you can use these for anything, food prep, whittling. They're really good. I watched a video where a guy used a Speyblade for carving out the inside of spoons and bowls, you know, the little depression in a spoon and stuff when he was making it out of wood for, it was a scouting troop, you know, so it's kind of cool. Of course, you can use them for opening boxes and in the garden and opening letters or anything else you want to do. Historically, the Speyblade, and it's spelled Spey. They say it was used to spay and neuter livestock, and maybe that's true. You know, maybe that is what happened. But then also, I saw where there's a Spey River in Scotland, and somebody said this started off as a shape for a fillet knife. I don't know. The history, you know, the mists of time are obscuring that. Is that true? I don't know, but it could be. I mean, this would make a great fillet knife, that's for sure. You could definitely use that to open up a fish, or if you wanted to use it for skinning, it would work. I think that for actually working on livestock and, you know, I don't know. I'm not a rancher, I'm not a farmer, but it just seems like it's a little big for that type use. But I think it's funny that a lot of people say, well, I don't like trappers because of that ugly old Speyblade. But, you know, I've never, ever heard anybody say, you know, this Stockman would be great if it didn't have that Speyblade. I don't like a Speyblade on a Stockman. It's just terrible. Maybe people don't complain about that because they have two other blades on a Stockman. I don't know. And when you look at the, this is a Roper Stockman, by the way, which is a really nice one of my favorites. But when you look at the length of the blades, I mean, really, you're talking about, and this is a large Stockman, you know, you're looking at maybe 3/4 of the length of the other one. Does it make it any more useful or useless? I would say that a smaller blade is probably better for detail work, but you know, this is just every bit as useful as the other. When you hold a trapper in the hand, I know a lot of people talk about with a Stockman, they don't like the sheep foot, and they say it kind of gets in the way when they're using it, or they don't like it because they can feel it, you know, when it's raised up. One of the good things about the trapper, and here I'll just grab this one here, is that because that blade has got that long straight spine, it just kind of wraps right in there and you don't really feel it. Even if you're using the Speyblade, then, you know, same thing. You don't feel that clip in the way. So that makes it really handy. You don't have a lot of hot spots and other stuff. The other part of it is some people don't like all the commemorative knives, and this is my billboarded RJ's Knives trapper. But the fact of the matter is that, you know, they're got all this nice place where you can have, you know, nice material like on the Samber jig bone or any of the other type things. If you wanted to have engraving or, you know, something else on there, of course they're going to use that for a commemorative, just because there's so much space to do, you know, something like that with. Now I did bring out the Muskrat because this is the kind of knife that actually went with the trappers and went with everyone out west. And, you know, Tobias goes over this. He has a better video than mine that he actually has the pictures from the book and stuff. But these are the kind of knives that trappers actually carried, you know, something for skinning, but then also you have, you know, the two knives that are basically mirror image, and it makes it, you know, very handy. If one gets dull, then you always have a sharp knife available. When in modern times, I was talking with Thrifty Kniffy about this. He was saying that, you know, he wasn't sold on the Muskrat as a pattern, And I said, the nice thing about a muskrat is no matter which way it ends up in your pocket, then you have your main blade. Because a lot of times on a traditional knife, uh, I'll go ahead and use the clip as my main blade, or I'll use whatever the main blade is, and I'll save this as a secondary. But the Speyblade has been a good worker for me. Now, when you look at the moose pattern, this is a mini moose, and you look at the it's got the clip blade, but then the spay blade that's on there. I mean, that is a really funky looking spay blade. It's got a lot of belly, uh, and that very attenuated little point there with a not sharpened part on top. But if you want to look at something that may or may not be useful, this blade would be it, because it kind of has that really, the belly's all the way down here, but then you still have this sweeping up here. And so it kind of lends itself to, cut in this way. But I don't know. It's just kind of, I find it kind of funky for myself, for my own uses. Maybe somebody can correct me in the comments on why that spay blade is better than a spay blade on a stockman or on a trapper. But yeah, this is kind of one of those things that I really think that if you haven't tried one, I'd like you guys to try one. If you have tried one, like I said, you can get the mini sizes, the 3.5 inch. You can go with the full size ones. They're about 4 1/8. You can find something that's going to basically fit in your pocket, and I think do a good job for whatever you got working going on. But yeah, that's it. I'm a fan of the trapper pattern. I like jackknives. I like these guys. I hate being the trapper defender, but I'm trying to get more of you on my side. I know a lot of you use trappers, and I know a lot of you really enjoy using them. I know that they're a very popular pattern. They're not going to go out of style anytime soon. But sometimes when I start hearing everybody kind of trashing the spay blade and trashing the billboarding and trashing the marketing history of Case, which they deserve that one, because like I said, Case came up with this in the 1920s, certainly long after the trappers had moved west. So it's not the knife that won the West. If anything, the knife that won the West was the knife that was probably a fixed blade that your local blacksmith pounded out in each little town as they moved westward. I don't, the folders and stuff that they had from back east, I don't know, to tell you the truth. I think you could make a good argument that, it was a fixed blade that won the West and not so much a folder. But that's just my opinion, and I'm no historian, so I'll call on the real historians to answer that question. Anyways, that's all I got for you. Let me know how you like trappers and all that other stuff. If you are in the market for a trapper, don't forget that I have a discount code with American Buffalo Knife and Tool. The link is in the description box. They get 20% off everything on their website, and they do offer free shipping. So if you are looking for a trapper and you'd like to try one out, definitely give them a try. Here's one of their mini trappers right here. And good knives, well made. You guys know I love them, and I don't get anything from that discount code in the description box. That's just for you guys. So go save you some money, get a good knife, and I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.